Hi guys, and welcome. Today we're going to be waxing this Carhartt jacket to make it waterproof. It's definitely seen better days and I think it's ready for change. So today we are going to be making what's called as tin cloth. I'm going to be using beeswax, natural beeswax. I'll be using soy wax as well. I'll be using linseed oil and turpentine. The turpentine is an interesting one. The turpentine is only here to liquefy the whole thing, help everything get into the cotton material, and then hopefully the turpentine should evaporate over the course of a few days, weeks, and just leave the whole thing perfectly waterproof. We will mix all our ingredients. I've got 100 grams of each, which I'll just add into this double boil. I can go ahead and add in the wax as well as the oil, but I will keep the turpentine for later. While the waxes are melted, do bear in mind that this at high temperature is quite flammable, especially some of the extra things you might add into it. So if you can, avoid an open flame and always be very careful. Okay, so now that the waxes have melted, we can add in the turpentine. Again, be very careful because at this point, things are very, very hot. And we are ready to start layering on. You can be quite generous. It is going to look bad at first, but that's normal. We will address that later. Make sure that you get your seams really saturated because there are quite a few layers of material there, and that's where you need the waxes to penetrate. We're currently in France in February, so it's a nice warm day, but it's still a February day, so not tremendously hot. As you can see, the waxes are immediately cooling when they hit the material, and it's not really helping me, but that's why the next step with the heat gun is really very important. If you're doing this in summer, you may find it easier. Make sure you don't do it indoors because the fumes can be quite potent, especially with the turpentine. Okay, and there we go. It looks like crap, but that's normal. One cool thing about this mixture, by the way, is that since it's still warm, we just put it back in a pot. And you know what this does? This gives you a great furniture wax. With linseed oil and beeswax and turpentine, you have exactly what you need to make a hard wax for furniture restoration. Now, bear in mind, if you do use it for furniture, it takes a lot of getting used to, a lot of buffing, a lot of working it in. It works, but there might be better things out there on the market today. Now, using the heat gun on a low setting, you can work the waxes into the fabric all around. And if needed, touch it up here and there. As you can see, there are some areas like this one where we do need a quick touch-up. So simply do that, work it in, and you're good to go. In the end, that mixture of 400 grams was exactly what I needed, so I did have to grab what was left in the pot, and I won't have enough to polish my tables, but that's okay. The jacket has now been waxed, and the wax has been pushed into the fabric using heat and friction, basically. And this is what you can see. It's nice and saturated, and yeah, it feels waxy and should be good to go. The next step is going to be putting it into the tumble dryer inside a pillowcase, an old pillowcase, and the idea is that with the heat and the action of the tumble dryer, those waxes will be nicely spread out. There you have it, guys. It's been a week. This jacket has had time to air out, and the turpentine smell has dissipated a bit through that process. But what really got rid of most of the smell was putting it in a tumble dryer for a 20-minute cycle on high heat. The real thing it did was move those waxes around where it needed to and help those waxes go all around and spread out really evenly. And it looks much, much better. So as you can see, it's not raining today. It's a bit too cold for that, but the jacket is still working admirably well. It does get rid of most of the water. The water does want to try and cling to the surface a bit, and maybe if I wanted to, I'd go ahead and give it a second coat if I really need to. But because it doesn't really rain that much here, I think I'll just leave it at that. Works great for my purposes. Well, it's been a few weeks, as my beard can probably attest, and I'm very pleased with the result. However, the jacket is not as waterproof as I'd like, and it's been raining a bit around here, but the jacket clearly doesn't really repel water the way I would like to. So I'm going to be waxing it once more, but I want to adapt the formula just a bit. I'm going to try again, this time with a mixture of waxes to oils of 3 parts wax and 1 part oil. I have about 100 and something grams of beeswax and the rest of it is soy wax, and I have then 100 grams of oil. So hopefully with this new coat, I'm going to get the quality of water repellency, the water protectiveness that I'm looking for. And so the goal is to redo, especially around the shoulders, around the arms and around the hood, which are areas which I need to be very waterproof. And yesterday in the rain, the arms got very wet, the shoulders of course, and the hood as well. So yeah. Yes, it looks disastrous, but don't worry, this will go away with the next step, which is going to be using a hot air blower. And that's looking much more like it. So the waxes have been melted into the fabric, and as you can see, there is a lot there, but that's okay because the next step is going to be putting it in the tumble dryer and getting all those waxes moving around a bit more. But you can already see that the creasing on this is wild, and I am loving that look. It is an odd look, I'll give you that, and my wife absolutely hates it. But you know what? Sometimes, just sometimes, that doesn't really matter. So let's put this in the tumble dryer for a couple of cycles and see what happens. Well, after 30 minutes in the tumble dryer, it has come out looking really, really cool. I can still feel the waxes in there, and they're going to continue spreading a bit as I wear this in. The really nice thing is it looks good. It looks decent, and I'm going to be wearing this day in and day out from now on, especially when working outside, especially in this early 2026 year where it does tend to rain a bit, so looking forward to testing that out. But as you can see already, water is shed off from this jacket quite easily, and it looks like my waxing has worked. Now, if you guys want to do the same process, you may not need to use turpentine. I used it because it helps go through the fabric, but if you're not going through too many layers or if your fabric isn't too thick, you actually could get away with not using it. What that means is that you're not going to get that turpentine smell for 2 or 3 weeks in your garment. You won't need to let it dry and air out as much, which is definitely a positive, but it does mean that it may be harder to get those waxes to seep in. You may find that you need to warm up your jacket more or just rub it in a bit more. Here is all the leftover wax from that pour. In here you have a mix of 3 parts wax and 1 part linseed oil. So really nice for re-waxing this if I need to further down the line. I am very happy with this overall result, but I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. As always guys, thanks a ton for joining me today. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something, and I hope to see you very soon for some more crafting.